Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. I'm your host Ben, one of them, and this here's Ildi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And this is the final episode of our song by song review on the new BTS album. We've been doing this for quite a few years now, so this became a tradition of ours, a tradition that we honor by hopefully doing an interesting reaction to these things, interesting conversations. So let us know if you enjoyed it, what do you think, and all sorts of things in the comments. We try to reply as soon as we can. We reached the final song, Dynamite. And this is the part when, guys, I think everybody basically heard this song.
Oh, no. This is our first time listening, guys. First time.
Oh, yeah. Very first time. This has been true for the rest of the album, though. But with this one, I heard it 1,000 times. But anyway, we're going to watch a performance from the Late Late Show, so that's going to be interesting and slightly different. And after we finish it, we're going to talk about like the big news, Grammy nomination, and probably also give just like a wrap up on what we thought about the album. So hopefully you like it. Let's see what they have in store for us. Do you have it on already, Bam?
I do indeed. I'm ready.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Okay, interesting.
Christmas
Cup of
is
tea.
already here.
Oh no, there's a cup of milk in it in this song. Cup of milk. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
That's true. Huh.
So it's really quiet.
Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll. King Kong, kick the drum, running on like a rolling stone.
You know what's interesting? I think their pronunciation is getting better.
Oh, definitely.
In terms of.
Hey, Karina.
Yeah, I know.
It's better than that Super M video, right?
Yeah, well, enjoy your life. So interesting how they do these plugins. Of like every time that they performed on like American shows, they had some sort of like Korean plugin, whether it's like a palace or just a art museum, and now it's Korean Air.
What are those hats though?
I don't know. You know, one of their strengths is their hair. It's like Samson, right? Yeah, definitely. They, for example, shot this before he went into surgery. I'm kind of amazed by how they plan these camera movements, right? It's very clever.
Oh, that was a good transition.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. And it looks like the Late Late Show set. I don't know, have they recorded when they were there?
Quite possible.
They built it again?
Hey!
Huh? Yeah, the hat, not sure.
I love how hard Jin goes in this song too.
Yeah. It's freaking hard to sing this song. So high. I think probably my favorite part comes right here. Bridge. Sounds so unique. And I'm pretty sure that like if this would have gone to somebody else, this song, to another artist, they would have approached it so differently. Like, I mean, Jimin sounds so light as a feather.
It does have a very feathery,
Yeah.
very feathery falsetto.
Yeah.
And then Jin just pulls up a ton of weight.
Yeah. I just can't help but smile.
Yeah.
Very sweet. The whole thing is very sweet. It always amazes me the creativity of like the performance directors and the video directors, because they come up with new ways to perform this song all over again. And like I think we've seen like, I don't know, at least 20 different versions already, like on the Good Morning America, and then America's Got Talent was very interesting about like, you know, how they came from different levels and they all ended up in the same place, and close-ups and everything. It's amazing. It's amazing that they always come up with something new. So that's, you know, really appreciate. But by the way, we obviously heard this song before, as I mentioned it to you guys. But what have you thought when you first heard it? Can you remember?
When I first heard it, I thought that the vocal processing was terrible, and I didn't know why they were auto-tuning it so much, and I was kind of angry because, like, I liked the composition, but I didn't like what they did with it production-wise. And then I listened to it a few more times, and it got into my mind. And then I got Beat Saber on virtual reality and played the map for this, and it was amazing. And now I absolutely love this song because playing this on Beat Saber is one of the most fun experiences I've had all year.
What is Beat Saber?
So it's a virtual reality rhythm game where, like, in VR you have a controller for each hand, right? And in Beat Saber, notes come at you, and they're like blocks with a direction. So like they'll go down or up or diagonal or whatever, and then you have to slice. Like you have sabers in your hand in the game, and you have to slice through the block in the right direction. So like I've been doing that to Dynamite a lot.
That sounds very fun.
It's very fun. It's super fun.
That sounds incredible. Like so much fun. I wish I would have any, like, you know, Xbox or anything like that at home so I could play these things. Yeah, now it's really, really made me think. Ben, I'm like, should I buy it? Some of these things.
Do it. Oculus Quest ain't that expensive. Let's do it.
I have to get the laptop. That's number one priority.
True,
so that's what's happening. And which, by the way, Ben is helping me with, so thank you. Yeah, I think when I first heard it, I was like, this is such a cheerful song and everything, but honest opinion, I was kind of disappointed that it is in English. Because I like them singing in Korean, but obviously it was a huge challenge, sounded great, and then, like, you know, my second reaction for me was like, I'm very proud of them that they are trying this hard, and yeah, and especially when it comes to pronunciation, I think they're getting better and better. So that's really cool to see, and obviously it's been more universal to reach more people just because it's in English, and that's kind of the case. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I think it just really cheers me up every single time when I listen to it. So I again did the same thing that I was putting on Dynamite when I was feeling down. I was just like with my mask on the street, just like
mouthing all the words underneath the mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Cup of milk, let's rock and roll. Hand motions on the street so I can emphasize how great I'm feeling. You do the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly. So I think it was a great song for its purpose. Like, it really cheered everybody up. So I think it totally served its purpose. And now it's been nominated. Dynamite is nominated for a Grammy. How do you feel about it?
One thing before we talk about Grammys. One more thing I must add.
Yeah.
I've got to plug my friend. So one of my friends has a local radio show around here, and him sending me him playing Dynamite in the studio and like spinning the camera around and being like, "Yeah, a cup of milk," like really helped me get into this song. So thanks, Pete, if you're listening.
Pete, we have to get this video and just like and edit it in.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. But yeah, it was he plays this quite a lot on his show on Red Kite Radio. If anybody ever sees it,
that's because that's something that the armies have been desperate to do, get more radio plays. So thank you so much, Pete. I think the whole entire army is very grateful to you that this is literally true.
It's a very small radio station, but it's very nice that he does it.
Still, radio plays has been something like the final defeat. That's not the right way to say it. It's a radio count.
The last thing to conquer.
yeah, the last thing to conquer. Like it's been incredibly hard because radio stations in general, especially in the States, I don't know how it is in the UK, probably not as much. They are pretty conservative, so they're unlikely to play something that it's foreign
Yeah,
for local audience.
I think that's partly why they went all English, because then they will get played because it's all in English. And I've seen recently Luna put out an English song as well, and that's been getting radio play. So I think that's probably why people are going so much more towards fully English songs, because they actually get played on the radio. Which is kind of sad
Anyway,
that they have to do that, but you know.
That's what made the whole Grammy nomination for me a bit of a bittersweet thing, because I replayed the BTS members' reaction when they see the announcement, like, I don't know, 15 times, and each time I was shouting along with them and screaming along with them, and I was so happy, but at the same time I really wished that they would get recognized with a Korean song. But anyway, especially a song that they wrote, because we know that Dynamite is an awesome song, but it hasn't been written by BTS. I think they did some of the producing, they helped with, and the Korean team was on it to obviously change it up slightly. But it's still not it's not even a song that was written by a Korean artist, let alone BTS. So I think it makes me slightly disappointed. I'm very happy for them because it matters to them. But at the same time, I think this is kind of how it works, at least for now. So, and obviously there has been tons of criticisms around the Grammys all the time. That's kind of like the conservative musical industry organization, isn't it? And like, you know, what about diversity and what happened with The Weeknd? It's almost like sometimes they are ticking off certain diversity boxes. Okay, let's give one to BTS. That's good enough. Even though it's in English, whatever. They are too big to ignore. At the same time, you know, stop The Weeknd and whatever. So I think the Grammys are always controversial, and it's not that we should get into that, but at the same time, you know, if it's almost like, I think my bottom line for me was that if they are happy, then I'm happy. So if that's good for them, and they got the chance to perform. Like, if you could have any song to be performed at the Grammys by BTS, which BTS song would you select?
Oh, what, like just pick your favorite, or?
I don't know. Pick one song that you think would be great to be performed at the Grammys.
I think Ampan Man would be really fun. Just because it's like such an interesting performance as well. Like, I think that'd be fun to see.
Yeah. And then I think people would be just like, what is going on? And
I want to see them show their less serious side, because it feels like everything's all professionalism when they're in the US, and I feel like it'd be more fun if they could have more fun.
I think it's interesting because definitely it's more professionalism when they are in the US, because like they are on a global stage there. It's less comfortable, obviously, language barriers and everything. And also, since they're on a global stage, they are suddenly by default touching global issues and like multicultural relations and stuff. And, you know, and I think BTS is so in front nowadays that like whatever they say is going to be picked up by the news, and like,
and they're like they're like a source of national pride, so they're representing Korea as well, so they must feel a lot of pressure because they know that their country's watching.
And they have to be on their best behavior every time that they are. I think they try their very best to represent Korea in a sense that, like, see these plugins, Korean Air, and like the palace that they performed Microcosmos in front of, like for like the Jimmy Fallon takeover and everything. So it's like they are trying their very best to do this, and then always like all sorts of cultural items and like emblematic scenes are just appearing in the background. So I think they're doing their best to be ambassadors for sure. But I think it must be a tough role. It must be a tough role. But I agree with you. I would enjoy something very entertaining, or I would also enjoy something like that is just like old school BTS and goes incredibly hard, but like early BTS, like, you know, Danger or something.
Fuck yeah, I love Danger. Or like Boy in Love. Those are like my two original favorites of theirs.
Yeah, and I would even go for like, you know, the No More Dream, you know, Dance Break. And just like, and put the fire up on the side of the stage as well. And like, bang, bang.
Bring the bus from the music video onto the stage.
You are bulletproof. I think that would be also thing. So I would go for some early favorites, or if that cannot happen, then I might choose Disease
Yeah, true. Disease was really
from
good.
this album. Yeah, something that can be made into a huge performance. You know, like, and that to showcase like how awesome they are, because I think this is very important for the Grammys, that it needs to showcase their brilliance, whether it is Jimin doing 3 backflips and turning into a swan, or flying off the stage. Because it's a ridiculous thing. They already did these things, right? And like that's true for almost all the K-pop artists, right? When it comes to their tours, they did brilliant stuff, and like and we know like the hardest K-pop choreographies and stuff, So I want them to impress everybody. So I would definitely go for something that has the ability that I don't know, J-Hope is gonna amaze all the rappers at the Grammys, and they're gonna be like, "What is going on?"
You know what?
Who is this guy?
Just to interest me and my friends, like, be quite fun if they did We Are Bulletproof, because that was the one where they had Jungkook and his hat mechanics, right, with the crazy hat stuff that he did, all the twirling and stuff. Like, me and my friends have joked about that, like he's got mad hat mechanics for like years, and I'd love to see that happen live. That'd be fun.
I agree with you, because in that sequence, I think that's a good selection. Because in that sequence, you also have crazy hip thrusts, which are emblematic to K-pop. So,
Of course.
I think we should have that.
And the running along the back bit, where they run along their backs, right, and jump off. I can't remember who it was. They lift one of them up and they run along.
Jungkook lifts Jimin up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also have that, like when J-Hope is doing their solo dance. So this is how the sequence goes, right? So J-Hope, and then he falls on his back, and then Jimin jumps over him.
Yeah.
Does a certain bit, and then gives, or I don't know, throws that hat towards Jungkook, and then he catches it, and then comes to.
Yeah.
It's such a legendary bit. Honestly, that would be brilliant. Here's the thing, because I think I think a lot of K-pop fans, even who are not fans of BTS, can appreciate that, or remember that very fondly as like some of the representative, dance breaks of K-pop. And I think it would be great to showcase like those elements of K-pop, right? Like like the signature things. I don't want them to deliver something that is like a kind of like a westernized version of that. I would like them to go full on and go hard as they can, and you are like, what? There you go. Take it.
It won't happen, but I'd love to see it happen.
Anyway, I think parts of it could happen. Some of it could happen, in a sense that I think if I have to settle down for something, I would be okay with even just like Jimin doing some contemporary dance, because even that is shocking. Like in a sense that it's shocking that like you have a boy band member who does something like this, or like the fact that like I don't know, the rap line doing some sort of cypher thing, because that's also kind of shocking. Like if it's just representing the Korean hip hop industry or anything, you get what I mean? Like that sort of vibe would be also useful, just to, by the way, let's showcase that we have talent like this, so you better check out Korean hip hop artists, everybody else too. Because like I think this is the Grammys real significance is. It's not necessarily, obviously it's BTS as well, and like whatever they achieve or not, but like they got the chance to perform. It's almost like a representation. This is going to be the first time that K-pop is performed at the Grammys, right? I think Gangnam Style might have been, I don't know, just brought in for fun. I can't remember that.
But it was considered a gimmick back then. Whereas now it's kind of more legitimized because BTS are so prevalent and Blackpink are so prevalent and whatnot.
Yeah. So I think that would be great. I'm so looking forward to it. The only thing that I'm hoping for that it's not going to be fully online or digital.
I'm sure it probably will be.
I think you think so?
When's it happening?
It should be February.
Oh, okay.
Or March.
There's a small chance, but things are pretty bad in the US right now, so I don't think it will be that easy to go like full audience.
Yeah. I think it's, even if without an audience, I think it's just like the idea of that artists should be like in the audience, and like at least they should see, like I really want some audience or like reaction of people, because otherwise it's just like
it feels empty.
Yeah, it kind of it feels empty. It's like it's literally they are not going to see it. And like I think this is one of my favorite things when they're performing in front of a live audience. It's just like the people being genuinely gobsmacked of like what K-pop is, and that's true for everybody else. So it's not just BTS. Just like when they see it with their own eyes, that's the only way to convince some of the doubters and some of the people in the audience who are just dismiss the genre. Just by
that's one of the things that's one of the things that was so cool when BTS first became like popular in the US, isn't it? When they first was it like DNA era maybe, when they started performing live on like shows and stuff, and then they'd pan to the audience and there's like actors there and they're like like, completely like open mouth, just like how the hell is this happening? And then they pan to the rest of the audience and there's girls losing their minds and like everyone's just obsessed. Like whenever BTS were performing on like an award ceremony or something, you would never see anyone looking at them being like, whatever. Like the Korean actors at that Rain one. You'd never see people like that.
Yeah.
But everyone's like obsessed when BTS are performing. So that'd be cool.
Absolutely. I think those were the best moments. I might even watch that AMA's performance, and like Jared Leto came out afterwards, and I was like, and he said something along the lines of, I think I need a few seconds to recover from this performance. This is unbelievable. And he's just like genuinely confused. That's my other thing. The confusion is my other favorite emotions that I like to see people. But they're just like they don't understand what's going around them, because there are people who are clearly in love with this band, and then they are seeing it and they kind of like it too, and the whole thing just doesn't make sense. And I think that confusion is my other favorite emotion. But one thing is for sure, when it comes to this album, and I think this is the part when we should also talk about the album in its entirety, I was not confused about how I feel about it, because it became very clear from like the first few bars of each song that I really like every song on this album, which is, even though I'm a hardcore army, like one of those people who, collect these, and actually keeps it, like a piece of plastic from a BTS concert, a very dear memory. Anyway, I did not expect this album to be this good.
No, I didn't either.
For some reason, I was just like, how are they going to diversify that message of us staying at home and quarantine stuff? Because this is kind of how it was marketed. That everything that they felt during this period, and I was like, this is just brilliant. It became so diverse and so interesting musically.
Yeah, I came into this thinking that this could go one of two ways, where either I'm going to grit my teeth through it and try not to be too horrible about everything, or like I'm going to like think it's okay and just go through like that. Whereas I genuinely was like very surprised by how good all these songs are, which I haven't said about a BTS album for quite a while, probably since Tear. I haven't had an album that's like surprised me like this from BTS, and like, oh my god, too. I mean, between our recordings, like Ildi would have seen me adding stuff to my playlists because a couple of the songs had to go on there. Like, oh my god, like I like all the songs, but I really like Telepathy and Disease, and those are 100% on my playlist. The others might make it on there, but like, oh, those are some good songs. Why are neither of those the title?
Yeah, and you guys have to remember that we are one of those people. We listen to so much music, and not just K-pop, but everything else, like K-R&B, big K ballad and OST person here, and like trot. and hip-hop, pop trot and everything. Like, so we listen to a lot of stuff. We are multi-stans as well. So it's like, it's not only BTS that I like, for example, or we like. So for us, like, something getting on the playlist, it's huge. it's like that's a big thing, because we're very proud of our playlist. That's why, not because our playlists are so amazing, but we just love making playlists. They are though. My Korean guitar in these songs to listen to when it's almost raining but not is an excellent place.
Mine's a lot more simple. Mine's literally just called Mega Awesome Forever, and it's just everything that I've liked since like 2010 or something. Just thousands of songs.
I have one of those, like my K-pop favorites playlist. That was my first ever K-pop playlist. But since then, I basically went down and I have a separate playlist for almost everything. So I have like, all sorts of different playlists from every sub-genre to mood to the, fierce girl groups or like, aegyo pop when it has like, NCT Dream and like Dolphin from Oh My Girl and like
some
and
April
all sorts of stuff. So like classic stuff, and so we are very proud of our playlist.
I was getting to that point with mine on Spotify, but then I had to move over to Apple Music because I get it free now from my sister. Thanks, Sarah. Now I just have my Born Big playlist because I haven't been bothered to recreate all the other ones. But I have.
Fair.
I mean, I just looked. I have 6 days of music in this playlist. Of 2,435 songs in this playlist.
Wow, so that is almost a week, isn't it? Like you could listen to this for an entire week.
Yep.
Day and night, and day and night. And I think we not only selected the great songs that we can put on those precious playlists of ours, but I think genuinely this has been an album. It is not only great for the way we feel now and like the way the world is now, but I would say that these songs are going to stay with us. These are great songs to listen to even years later. So it's not so much of its time of how much I expected it to be, because I expected that it's going to be very poignant messages, and there were a few songs which were circulating around the idea, right, of like in introverts experience and like life. On. But then it went into other places and discovered great messages as well. So I think when it comes to the lyrics and the messages, again, really, really liked it. And I liked it as well how lighthearted most of it was. Because on the previous album and some of the BTS albums, obviously there are deep topics. And sometimes it can be, and don't take this in the wrong way, a tiring experience or like a challenging experience emotionally to go through it. Because especially I remember Tear was one of those things and you're like, oh my God. And this was just it put me in an awesome mood. An awesome mood. Thank you so much, BTS, for this great album and everybody who was involved. I think they should continue down on this route.
100%. At the very least, please take from this production, because this production is so much better than the last few albums you've had. It sounds so much nicer than anything else you've put out since like Tear. So please, less auto-tune, more vocals, more comfortable ranges, please. It's so good.
Very, very strong plea from Ben.
Yeah.
So this would be your wish for the whole BTS journey going forward, kind of more of this and less of what you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to continue on that, I think probably my wish for the next album and what they continue would be that they should have this comfortable creative freedom. They are where they are for a reason, and when they have the opportunity, maybe more rest. They should have more rest all the time between concerts and everything, because their inner selves and what they can offer us is brilliant. It's almost like, again, it solidified my idea that they were involved more in the production, that the only thing that they need is the amazing team around them, themselves and their own creativity. And I think my plea in the previous albums was that I was a bit disappointed that they had a lot of amazing, obviously great songwriters from outside of Korea helping them to produce those albums. But once they had more people from around them who probably understands them a bit better, or like can share their emotions with them more easily, or I don't know, or just like their cultural background is similar. So it's all more of a coherent message. I would like to continue down that route. So more of them being involved in everything that they do. More of them. This is what we need. And I think with that we should wrap up our reactions. And this has been a great journey. Thank you so much, Ben. I'm I'm so happy that we did this. I'm very happy with this whole album.
Same.
Great.
Same. Thank
So
you, LD.
good.
It's been quite the journey.
Thank you. Absolutely. Okay. And thank you so much for everyone who watched this. And again, as always, let us know what you thought. We would love to hear your thoughts and love to hear every sort of opinion, because as you guys know, this is what we are all about: discussion, conversation, and enjoying music together. So all the best to everybody who watched, and stay safe, you and all your family, and all the best to everyone. Bye, guys.